muggy day today, isn't it?
It is.
We're just up in the, I don't know, it's a weird space. The ceilings are 14 feet and they have a floor at 7 feet. So that means the ceiling on the first floor is very low and this ceiling is very low, and it got lower because the roof is collapsing here. So we're gonna have to fix that. And I have a plan to stabilize it. Fixing it, however, might happen, permanent fixing might happen next summer. Or next spring, actually, which my wife would prefer me to say. So we're here at the Ironworks building on a Saturday morning, and our first step in working on the building is to stabilize the structure. And one of the biggest things that needs to be handled before we get snow here in this little part of our world is to handle this roof. So we're going to take care of that today, start getting on top of that and removing some of the aggregate that's on top and relieve some weight. And then I'm going to put a temporary roof on to get us through the winter till I can decide how much I want to extend the roof and if I want to put another floor in here or not. Kind of a messy job. There's a fair amount of stuff coming down on my head, but here is a shot of what I'm dealing with. Now I just need to get the aggregate off the top. So we are learning some things about flat rubber roofs with aggregate on top, which is that I thought all this gravel was loose and I could just shovel it off here and get the weight off the roof. But as you can see, it is all stuck in the tar. So I'm gonna have to do this the hard way, which is to tear this part up and throw that over the side and then expose the roof joists or trusses or whatever you want to call them, and then put the new roof on. So it's going to be a lot more work, but we expected that. Kind of fiddly work at this point, just trying to get an opening so I can get on the roof easily and pull all this stuff off. Find that my blade lasts longer in my saw if I don't have to cut through nails. So I think I want to show you what I'm trying to do here to keep this as safe as possible while I repair that roof. It's really sagging, and it'd be terrible if it came down on my head or so maybe somebody who was helping me. But so I've got it supported with a couple boards there. I'm going to add a few more, but I'll show you. This is a second floor. I'll show you what I've done to support the floor below, because the joists are not great on this floor either. So what I've done is installed kind of a temporary wall supporting all these joists, and then that'll transfer the load down to the concrete, which is good, because again, we don't need anything collapsing on us. We want to do this safely, obviously. Talk a little bit about what's going to happen here. This is obviously going to take a while. Been working at this for about 45 minutes, and this is all I've gotten off here. It's very heavy and awkward. If you can get under a corner of it, it pops right off, but usually a nail or something in the way. So I might have to come with a different sort of prying device to get this flat roof off. But what's going to happen is I'm going to put a temporary roof with steel on it at an angle, and I'm going to start over here. I'm going to angle my rafters this way, and then I'll put a steel roof on that for temporary winter. I definitely want to keep the water out of the building this winter. Nothing worse than water in a building to destroy it very quickly. It's shocking how quickly that water can destroy a building. So this whole roof needs to come off so I can put new rafters and keep the rain out. had to stop on Saturday. Frankly, I got a little fed up with the shovel I was using to shovel the aggregate off the roof, and had to go to a flag football game for my son anyway. So I'm just getting back tonight, and I tried a different tool that we use with tearing off roofing shingles, often a digging fork or a potato fork, as we like to call it, and that worked pretty well tonight, and got quite a bit of the roof off in about the span of an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, something like that. Pretty good view of what's going on with the roof here. Drop probably a good foot. It's creating a gap. You can see how it's sagging. So we'll start tearing it off from this end by pulling up the planks and then dismantling the floor joists or the roof joists. On what's going on here. So I've got the really bad part of the roof, for the most part, cut out. The joists or rafters, and yeah, we got sky. Of course, we're gonna get rain today, it sounds like, so I guess I just have to live with that. This is wide open. As I was pulling these down, I did realize that these are loose. So I'm gonna have to probably relay that course of block. And yeah, sooner the better. It is September, late September, and winter's coming. And like I said, the whole point is to keep water and moisture out of the building. So snow and rain that comes with October, November is not good here in our part of the world. So I'm gonna clean some of these up here, make some room, and then I'll get back to the rest of the roof. I think I'm gonna have to, just this year, I'm gonna put a 2x6 on top of this wall, but that little short 3-inch block's gonna have to come off there, and I think I'll lay another course of block up there to raise the level of the roof next when I put a new roof on. And got some cracking I'm gonna have to deal with here, which is not great, but it is an old building and we are not surprised by any of that. We expected it. Kind of a nice surprise. These floors got some damage, obviously, but some water damage, but they are a nice pine, heart pine floor, I believe. That is cool stuff. So when I take this floor out, I'll salvage as much of that as I can and reuse it where possible. So that's one of the great things about an old building, is if you're willing to go through the steps of reusing stuff, you can retain some of the character of the original building, which we love.